Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Because we want to know if someone is deleting. Any record. You would come to know if they delete. But what is the reason for them to delete? Those reasons are actually specified. And then you can see that if it is entered by mistake or anything. Any reason that they can specify, the administrator would come to know that fine. This call was deleted for some reason. Great. So multi-subsidiary customer, what exactly does this mean? If you go into the subsidiaries, I wanted to go into the subsidiaries, but a little later let me show it to you. So if you go into the subsidiaries here in the test account, you have like 9 or 10 subsidiaries. So what does multi-subsidiary customer mean? Whenever you're creating a customer, maybe the customer is from California. However, he can purchase your boots from all these subsidiaries. There is a chance that he might want to purchase from Amazon and Amazon, a Metro Test subsidiaries which are in different states, no one could be in Delaware, one California, one Washington DC, one Connecticut, the other one in Canada. So all these subsidiaries, if you want to do business with a customer from different subsidiaries, then this feature has to be enabled. As simple as that. So what happens when you enable this? When you go into your customers, let me navigate to lists, relationships and customers. When you do this and when you're trying to create a new customer, you can actually specify, you can select multiple subsidiaries from here. Any question on that? So I changed the form. Don't worry, I'll show you what forms are. So here you can specify what is a parent company for this customer. Along with that, you can select multiple subsidiaries so that while doing your transactions, you can actually select this customer and then select a subsidiary to which this customer is actually doing business with. That is what your multi-subsidiary currency feature will do. If this was disabled, then this option will not be there. Only one subsidiary can be selected. You can transact with that one customer with that subsidiary only. Any questions on this? So if you go to a primary subsidiary, you want me to go there again? No, I was asking. If you go to the primary subsidiary, it will show the link subsidiary also when you want to purchase. Is that? So if you specify your primary subsidiary, what happens? Good question. Then what happens is whenever you put in a purchase order, by default it goes into this primary subsidiary. And then you can change the subsidiary at the purchase order level. I'll show it to you when we deal with the purchase orders. When we go there, I will show how exactly these things actually work out. Say it might take some time for me to show it away. Let's do that. What else? We will go into the list of customers that we already have. Let's open one of them. Oh, there are no customers. No, there should be customers in all stages. These are the customers. So let us go into the Sky Zone. This is a customer that might have just one subsidiary listed down for them. Let us scroll down. So here Metro is the primary subsidiary for this customer. Now I can select Amazon as the additional subsidiary and let's save it. What was the customer name? Z. Now when you go into the purchase orders, when you go into the sales orders, I am entering a sales order for this customer Sky Zone. I go into the sales order and then let us select Sky Zone as the customer. Now when I do that, what happens is there is a subsidiary option and you see this, it got defaulted to the Metro. You got defaulted to the Metro subsidiary. So what I'm saying is this customer is buying from the Metro subsidiary for this purchase order. However, since I have added another subsidiary for this customer, if you see this, only 2 will be available because on that customer we have only 2. Correct? So only 2 will be available. You can set up Amazon and then you can put in a sales order. That's how the multi-subsidiary customer would actually work. Hope things are clear now. You got that? Perfect. So what is an advanced numbering? Just remember this. I will get back to this advanced numbering once again when we are actually dealing with the auto-generated numbers. I will let you know what advanced numbering is and how it works when we go to the auto-generated numbers, since we are in the enable features now. Let's skip that topic for now. So what is resource allocations? On a project, if you want to allocate, go ahead. Any question? Small question. So that subsidiary option is only for purchasing. That's not for sales. No. It will be for purchase and sales also. So we went into the sales order only. Just a while ago, we went into the sales order only because I made those changes at the customer level. If you're making the changes at the vendor level, then you can check it on the purchase orders. Got it? So what is resource allocation? Any project that you are dealing with, let us say you have 90 odd employees. So you want to reserve a few employees for one particular project. Out of those 85 people that you have, maybe 5 or 10 people you want only on one project. So you can actually do a resource allocation chart grid. This is a part of the projects, by the way. Resource management is a part of the project. So you can have that resource chart grid available under the projects and you can define those, 5 or 6 employees for certain projects that you have there. So even I don't know where resource allocation chart grid is. So this is the navigation. The reports of resource allocations, activities continuing. Here it is. It is under the resource allocations over here. So we'll see that how exactly things work at the end of the session. And then international multiple currencies. Do you want to deal with multiple currencies? Do you want to have the currency exchange rate integration enabled? Do you want to convert the dollars into rupees? All these things you can actually enable, disable them. So this is where you have your data management. Do you want to enable the file cabinet or not? Since I enabled the file cabinet, it pays available for us over here. If it is not enabled, then this option will not be there. The file cabinet that you see here, this will not be there. Duplicate detection and merge. Now what exactly this does? Whenever you're creating your vendors or customers, you can create certain duplicate criteria. Like you can say that if the email addresses match, I want the system to show me that this is a duplicate vendor. If the phone numbers match, I want the system to show it as a duplicate vendor or a customer. And where exactly do you have it under system setup? If you go into the accounting and scroll down, there is a duplicate detection criteria that you have. We may not have access to that. I think it's here. Hold on. Duplicate detection criteria. You see this. So this is a duplicate detection criteria. Here, what you can do is you can specify your, detect duplicates across subsidiaries, customers, and vendors only. Detect customer duplicates. These are the two criteria that you have set up. And how do you want to set it up? Email domain only. So if the email domain is matching, then we want to throw them as duplicates. However, there are certain domains which are widely used, like the Gmail, the Hotmail, the Yahoo Mail, all these things. So depending on the domain only, you may not want to define these things, so you can exclude those domains over here. So these are the domains which are widely used, like Mail, Mainspring, Netscape. You've got Comcast Gmail. Hotmail also would be there a part of it. Yahoo is the reason. These are all the email providers that your Hotmail is there. So what we are saying is if the email is matching on the domain for companies. Let us say you are working for Oracle. Now Oracle is a specific company. So if you have Oracle.com as your domain, then you're saying throw it as a duplicate. Now you can actually set it up. You can do this thing as well. Instead of putting in only the domain only, you can also specify full email. You see this. You can specify the phone number. You can specify, all these things, criteria. You can actually set it up. Instead of doing the domain only, you can say that if the email fully matches, then I want the system to throw a duplicate detection. If the phone number is matching, then I want the system to throw us duplicate. This is for customers. This is for vendors. This is for partners and this is for contacts. You can actually specify the criteria with which you want to identify the duplicates. So tomorrow what happens is I'm creating, but the system does not throw an error because if you're having two vendors with the name Callian, it does not throw an error because we are saying only if the email matches so and so come. And then the second vendor also has the same email. That is when the system throws a warning saying that this is a duplicate vendor and it will give you the list of duplicate vendors which are in the system already. So what do you want to do with them? How do you want to deal with these duplicate vendors? That is in the preferences. You say you want to resolve the duplicates manually or you want the system to delete the duplicates access. Automatically do it. And then we also say show duplicate warning, pop-up on records. Whenever you create, we want to show it as a pop-up on the screen. I will show that to you once we create. Let's create two vendors with same email addresses. And then I will show you how the system throws a warning saying that this is actually a set of duplicate issue. And then how do you resolve it? You go into lists, mass update, and then duplicate resolution, status entity duplicate resolution. You can go here and there you go. So what's happening here? These two companies, A, B, C, Inancy and Capgemini are my duplicates now. The reason behind that is these two might have the same email address, and that is the reason the system is showing that. So that is the reason it is showing up here. So what you can do is you can mark one as primary. You can mark the other as duplicate. This is a primary and this is a duplicate. And by doing that, you can click on submit. It will delete the other customer and it will keep the primary customer which we have. But if there are any transactions on that customer, then it will not delete. So you can refresh on this. Status is queued as of now. We'll have to see if it resolves or not. There might be some transactions on those customers, and that is there you go. It got deleted. Resolve. What was the other one? I don't know. A, B, C, and C was the customer that I've selected and Capgemini. The other one was Capgemini. So now the Capgemini is not in the system because I'm saying that it's a duplicate customer of so and so. And that's the reason I want that to be deleted. So if you go back to your lists, mass update and then entity duplicate resolution. Now there is nothing. There are no duplicates in the system. Any questions on this? I know the concept is a little elaborate, but I just wanted to cover that since we are doing the enable features over here and we will not get back to this. Customer duplicates and vendor duplicates again. So this is a selection. You can see that we were on customer duplicates. So you can also see vendor duplicates and you know all these filters. You can actually see that. If entities, you can select vendors and then it will give you the vendor duplicates if you have. As of now, there are no duplicates, so it is not showing it. I hope it is clear. Any questions on that? Great. So this is a mobile push notification. You can allow the users of NetSuite mobile products to receive push notifications for this company if you enable this. Like there's a purchase order pending for your approval. There is an item receipt pending for your approval. So those things are the push notifications that you can have for your system for the users. So we are done with the company tab. Now let's get into the accounting. So I know that the accounting concepts and all you are not well versed with, but then I will just show you what all we can enable and disable over here. So this is a basic accounting. If they want to go with accounting on NetSuite, then this has to be enabled. If this is not enabled, you will not see this accounting tab at all. The completing accounting itself will not be available. That is the main accounting enable feature that you have over there. And then if you want the AR, which is accounts receivable, since you have your customers, Since you're dealing with the sales orders, you need the AR accounts. And then AP, which is your accounts payable. Just go by these names, guys. Accounts receivable. We are receiving something from the customer. We are receiving the amount. So that is the reason it is accounts receivable, linked with your customers, linked with your sales orders. Accounts payable type. So you're paying something from your bank account. Who you are paying it to? You're paying it to your vendors. So when you're paying to the vendors, then you are buying something from them. So that is what your AP is, accounting periods. So what is an accounting period? Every company will have their own accounting financial calendar year. Usually it will be from April to March if it is in India. If it is some other country, it will be something else. So you need to set up these accounting periods on NetSuite if you want the accounting to be enabled. So where exactly do you have the accounting periods? You go into setup accounting and then scroll down. You will have manage accounting period, something called as manage accounting periods. So if you open this, what is a period? Every month that you see over here is a period. So financial year 2023, quarter 1 is January, February, March. This is a quarter and this is my 3 periods. Quarter 2 2023, March, April, May, June. These are the periods. So you can set up the periods like this. You have your FY 2023 and 2024. So from financial year 2014, you have this thing. So if you want to set up a full year, click on this. And you select the fiscal year end. And then save it. Once you do that, the system would automatically generate all the periods for you in the 2014 financial year 15. This is what we set up. It was not there earlier. And when you are done with the transactions at the month end, let us say this is yesterday was February 29th. So February 29th, you want everybody not doing any transactions in this period. So that is when you have to close that period. The financial team will actually close out the period. And once you close out the period, you will not be able to make any transactions in those periods. If you click on February, you can lock your accounts receivable. And you can lock your account, lock AP, lock all. If you do that, just click on this task. You will click on this task and you select all the subsidiaries. So what is the task? You clicked on AR, accounts receivable. So once you click on submit, there will be a lock which will come up against your accounts receivable for that particular period. And you see the status green checked out and there is a lock over here. Now, nobody would be able to do any transactions as far as the sales is concerned because I've locked our accounts receivable. Likewise, I can lock my AP. I can lock out. So these are the activities which are performed at the month end by every financial team. They have to review their negative inventory. They have to resolve what date period mismatches are there manually. And then calculate consolidated exchange rates. Once all this is done, if you click on close, then it will close out the period. February 2023 I have selected. So February 2023 as a period will be completely closed and you will not be able to make any transactions in February. And if someone has to make some transactions, the admin or the financial team will have a provision to reopen the periods. So let me see if there is any closed period over here. Let's get into the accounting periods. Let's get into the list. So is there a period which is closed? Nothing is closed, but let's do one thing. Let's close out a period completely. See, I have left out one subsidiary, and that is the reason is not completely closed. It says in progress. Why is it in progress? I left out the last subsidiary over here. That is the reason there is a lock. You see this for all the other things, but for this there is no lock. So I can close out the Flipkart e-commerce as well. And now it is closed. So if you click on it again, you can unmark all and then submit. I have reopened it. And this access will be available only for the administrators or the financial departments. It will not be available for everybody. I mean, you don't want anybody to go ahead and open those periods. Correct. So that is the reason it will be available. As an administrator, I have access to everything, and that's how I'm able to see it. But usually it is available only for the administrators and financial managers. You can say, any questions on the accounting periods? So, for example, if you close or lock account receivables, you will not be able to receive an account from anyone for that particular period. Perfect. Exactly correct. In that period you cannot, but in the next period you can. But will they close that period once you go to the next period? Absolutely. It has to be closed. They will close out. I mean, since today is March 1st, they will close out every transaction on February 29th so that nobody will be able to make any transactions. What if there are some transactions which are pending? It will be posted to the next period. It just gets posted to the next period. That's it. It will be carried forward. So what I meant to say was, see, today is March 10th. And I don't want to do something on February 25th. I do not. I should not have access to go back and say I will receive a backdated payment on February 25th for a normal user. See, the exceptions are always there. So if I, as a user, if I forgot that, I have to, collect the payment on February 29th in NetSuite and the period is closed. So I reach out to the accounting team. I ask them to open the period only for a few seconds and then I just go ahead and, receive all these things. You have to explain to them. Any questions on the accounts? The accounting periods. There is an option which is called as close multiple periods. So this is a preference. By the way, this is an accounting preference. So if you, select this, all the previous periods will be automatically closed. If I close from June 2023, let us say May, April, March, February, Jan, or without the sub-activities, everything will be closed automatically. Usually, this is not given in the production access. This is an accounting preference. I'll show exactly where it is. Whether this can be automated or you have to do manually for a period. It is automated. So there is no manual intervention. We don't know how to do it. Correct. that. Let's get back to the enable features. We were under accounting periods. So GL audit numbering. So do you want to know all the GL audit K plus numbering for all the GL posted transactions? For every transaction, you will have the numbering one after the other. So that is what will be your GL audit numbering. And then these are the advanced features. You have expense allocation. You have dynamic allocation. Now, what is an expense allocation? So you have an expense of 1 lakh rupees and you want to divide that between the departments of your company. I've spent 15,000 on IT, 20,000 on procurement, another 40,000 on the HR. So all these things can be coming under the expense allocation. So you can disable that expense allocation as well. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.